Hello everybody, SSA here, aka Super Suna Arashi, your coach of the Groningen Noctowls, bringing you week 3 of the IBA Season 4 Wifi Division as we take on Aaron2420, coach of the Minnesota Miniors. Now, before we're going to start off with the actual match, I do want to say my apologies for the lack of a team builder this week. There's been a lot of going on around my personal life at work, so I didn't have a lot of time to actually put into a team builder. And on top of that, we're going to do it a little bit different this week because me and Aaron, we played our match, but halfway through our match, Aaron's internet got disconnected for a little bit, so our match got DC'd. And unfortunately, that does mean that I don't have a replay of our match, but fortunately Aaron, who does all of his matches live on his Twitch channel, so be sure to check that out as well, he fortunately had still the replay of our battle in his VOD on Twitch. So that's why this week I will be using his replay from his side, and I will be commentating over that. And we tried to replicate the battle after the DC, but because of a certain moment in the match, it was a very difficult for us to replicate what happened. So after like 10 attempts on Wi-Fi, we decided to just do it on Showdown because it's much faster, and with the help of a friend of Aaron, we can actually 100% replicate what happened in that match, and then we can just move forward on Showdown. So the half of this week's replay or this match will be on the Wi-Fi from Aaron's perspective, and the last half of this match will be on Showdown, which you will see. But looking at his team, he's bringing the Menifee, the Zygarde, the Palossand, the Vikavolt, the Uxie, and the Roserade, while I'm bringing my Tapu Koko, my Gliscor, my Metagross, my Mega Blastoise, my Porygon 2, and my Gengar. I will put the spread of my team, in the comment section, and I'll pin it. So if you guys are interested how the spread is looking, you can pause the episode, you can, go down in the description in the comment section, and you can check out what items I'm running, and what kind of movesets I'm running, which I do have to say, I made a mistake with my Metagross because this Metagross had to have Ice Punch instead of Stealth Rocks because it's running the Assault Vest, but it will work out for us. But let's just start off right with the match. So I'm starting out with my Porygon 2 because looking at this team, 2 was a more safer, switch in for me as he's going to start out with his Vikavolt. So right from the beginning, I thought, he's probably going to go into his Roserade or into something that can take a Toxic, but it would be stupid for me not to go for Toxic in the off chance he'd stay in. So he starts out with his Vikavolt while I start out with my Porygon 2, and thus I get the Toxic off, but unfortunately, he goes into his Roserade and the Toxic won't connect. So after that, I was like, what can I do more? What can I do more? So, I was thinking in my head, I can switch out, I can stay in. He's probably going for the spikes or anything, so I thought, what, let's go into my Metagross, because Metagross can actually, take anything from the Roserade. Now here is where the fun's going to start a little bit. So I'm in my Metagross, I can just go for a safe Meteor Mash here. So Aaron will out his Roserade into a Uxie. So the Uxie comes in the Mega Mind, and my, Metagross will connect the Meteor Mash, and it will do like, I would say 30 to 35%. So looking at this, I'm safe to go for another Meteor Mash. I didn't know what his Uxie was going to do. I know it could, put up the Stealth Rocks. I know it could possibly do some damage, but we're Assault Vested, so I'm like, I'm free to just stay in and click Meteor Mash again. But unfortunately, we missed the Meteor Mash, and he's going to set up the Trick Room. Now, I was like, okay, he's probably going to outspeed me, but my Metagross was still slower than the Yuxi. Now I'm running a much more, you know, slower but physical, hard-hitting Metagross. Like, I'm doing that this whole season so far because it's an enormous threat. Metagross just hits hard like this, and it doesn't need the speed. It can be defensive and it can still hit hard. So here I was like, we're going for another medium match, and I get another attack boost. Just like last week, we got the attack boost. He's going to knock off my Assault Vest, and now I'm like, I can now use Stealth Rocks. Like, in the match, I was like, oh my god, I brought Stealth Rocks instead of Ice Punch. I forgot to put Ice Punch on Stealth Rocks, and I was like, I can set up the Stealth Rocks right now. So first I use the Bullet Punch to actually, you know, kill off the Yuxi here, which, you know, it's fine by me. Yuxi has been an enormous threat for Aaron's team the last 2 weeks, so getting rid of the Yuxi right away was, you know, fine by me. Then he goes into his Vikavolt. Now, you know, the Vikavolt is fast now because of the Trick Room. So here was like, you know what, if he decides to take me down, fine by me. I'm just gonna click Stealth Rocks, and you know, I'm just, you know, waiting, you know, anticipating for the reaction of, you know, Assault Vest Stealth Rocks Metagross, which was totally an accident, but I rewatched the replay of our stream, and it was fun to read the chat and, you know, seeing if everybody reacts to Assault Vest Rocks Metagross. So be sure to check out Aaron's Twitch channel, because he's doing every match live on his Twitch, which is something the IBA does. I think more people besides Aaron does it. Like, I think Boys is matches on Twitch as well. So, you know, it's a new niche. But, like, and the next move, he's going to use his Thunderbolt, and I'm going to put up my Stealth Rocks. It's, you know, it's like the Stealth Rocks are there that can hurt the Vikavolt hard if he wants to decide to switch out. So I'm like, hell yeah, the Stealth Rocks are up. So, you know, at this point, I was like, you know what, Metagross could still be of use for me, so I'm like, let's switch out into Morbius, my Gliscor. If he wants to, you know, Thunderbolt me again, you know, we can take that, which we can. Now, here comes the moment where the match was very hard to replicate. So, Gliscor is here, and the Vikavolt does have hidden power ice. Now, I checked the calcs multiple times, Aaron did as well, and, you know, especially after the DC, we checked the calcs, because Vikavolt will die, spoiler alert, he will die later, but here we are, we're going to hit the knockoff on the Vikavolt. The Vikavolt will hit the power ice, and the Gliscor will literally live on 1 HP. Now, as I said, we checked the calcs multiple times, and there was like a 6% or 5% chance of me living a hit, getting the lowest of Minrolls, and that is what happened right here. So you could imagine that me and Aaron, we replicate the match like 10 times on Wi-Fi, and the Gliscor, every time we came to this point, the Gliscor died. So I'm gonna withdraw my Morbius here, going into the Porygon 2 now, and the Porygon 2 will get the trace with the Levitate. Doesn't really matter. He's going to hit a Power Ice again, and that will do like 10% minus the leftovers. So it was like very hard to replicate that moment, you know, replicate the hidden Power Ice not killing. And even on Showdown, it was, you know, not living. So Ice Beam will connect here on the Vikavolt, which will not do much. Then the Thunderbolt will get hit on the Porygon 2, which will do an amazing damage, and the next Thunderbolt would kill off the Porygon 2. But you can imagine that, you know, on Showdown itself, it was not living the hit from hidden power ice from the Vikavolt. So Aaron, as I'm going to Ice Beam here again, Aaron asked a friend of his to, you know, put the Gliscor on 1 HP in Showdown, and then we could replicate the battle fortunately for us. So pouring on 2 dice here, and I'm going into my Metagross. So Metagross now is here. It will live on the spikes, and I can now, you know, click Bullet Punch and do amazing damage to this Thickerfold. So, oh no, I clicked Meteor Mass because we outspeed. I clicked Meteor Mass because we outspeed. As I said before, the Thickerfold will die. As I said before, we replicated this match so much that I don't even know what I did last time. And I checked the match, you know, just before I recorded, and even now I still don't know what we did because of all the replicating matches that we had. Now, here the mana fee will come in. The mana fee will aura of a will, you know, tail glow here. It will tail glow here, and its attack will roast. We're gonna hit that Earthquake, and that Earthquake, as I said before, Metagross is hard hitting this season. It will do a chunk of damage on the Juvia, the Manaphy. Now he will now click Surf, killing off the Metagross, as you can see here, and after that the DC happens. After that the DC happened, and I was going into my Tapu Koko. I have already clicked Tapu Koko, and after that it was just DC. So, you know, after that I was like, we have to do this old match. Then we redid and recreated the match for a long time, and after that we decided to do it on Showdown, and I will be back in a moment to set up everything for the Showdown replay so I can show you guys that. So BRB! And here we are with the replay of the match that me and Aaron did on Pokemon Showdown after DDC on Wi-Fi, and after we made it finally work to replicate the match. So as you can see here, the Manaphy is now on the field, and as I said before, I was going to lead off with my Tapu Koko, which I do here. So the Electric Surge will come up, so I'm gonna hit it with Thunderbolt, but he has the Wakan Berry, so he will lift that, and the Surf will take on the Tapu Koko. I could have played that better. Now I go into my Gengar, and I can hit that Icy Wind. If he wants to switch out, he can actually switch out. So I'm here like, should I click Icy Wind again? No, I should actually switch out into my Blastoise, because Blastoise is much more suitable for the Palossand. So he's going to put up his Stealth Rocks. I can now click freely on this Ice Beam. He's going to use Earth Power. We're going to tank that hit, and then the next Ice Beam will kill off the Palossand. And this match was now, you know, going my way, because we actually do outspeed the Roast Rate. So the Ice Beam will connect. He's going to put up the spikes. At the end of the match, he said, like, I was not expecting your Blastoise to outspeed my Roast Rate. And after that, you know, the Ice Beam just do enough to, you know, kill off the Roast Rate. And we live 8,000 arrows from the Zygarde, and the Ice Beam will kill off the Zygarde. And we win this match with 3-0. And I was very happy that we won this match, but I rather have won this match on Wi-Fi itself, because I never had won a match on Wi-Fi, and now, you know, we did win, but unfortunately it had to be done this way on Pokemon Showdown. I still would have won on the Wi-Fi if we've done it this way, because on Wi-Fi I was already clicking on Tapu Koko, and I was already clicking Thunderbolt if we are in Tapu Koko, so the same stuff would have happened. I would have then gone into my Gengar, clicked Icy Wind, and after that, you know, go into my Blastoise on the Palossand, because that, you know, everything that I did here, I also would have done in Wi-Fi in terms of my mindset. But yeah, it's a bit orthodox this week's match of the IBA. Hopefully next week I can just bring you guys a full-on commentary on Wi-Fi without me or the opponent disconnecting, and then we have to replay over and over again, because that just sucks. Also for me, because, you know, I don't have the equipment to live record my stuff, so I'm, you know, very much I am very much here like hoping that somebody can actually record a replay for me, and then I can use it actually for this week's and the upcoming weeks of the IBA. But I still want to thank Aaron for, you know, borrowing his replay from his Twitch. Again, check out his Twitch channel and his YouTube channel. He's an amazing battler. I've known him for like 2-3 years now, and I'm still undefeated against him. So that's that. Next week we will take on Galadite, coach of the Calgary Flamethrowers, if I'm not mistaken, for week 4. So we've done every match of our own conference we did, and now we're battling against other people besides our conference. So that's going to be, you know, interesting. I'm now currently 1 win and 2 losses with a differential of +1, so anything can still happen. Check out the description for all of the coaches and the IBA Twitter and YouTube. Be sure to follow everybody to get up to date on the latest news. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share this video with others, slash the subscribe button down below. Hit that bell icon, because then you get notified every time I upload a new video, and that is sincerely appreciated. And I'll see you guys next week in the IBA Season 4 Wi-Fi Division.